Huh.
Hey guys, it's Dane at Jonah Guitars, and I got a brand new build series I'm going to start uploading. It's about this guy right here, the GECKO, and all of the whole process of building will be covered. It's going to be a very complete series. So I hope you join me, and we'll see you there. Okay, so we're gotten two sandbacks on this. Same progression that the body's been going through, basically. So sealed it, put the put enough lacquer on to get rid of most of the grain fill problem. I did fill it with regular filler, and then you can see it's looking pretty good. I've got right up along the edge here, there's a couple pinholes that filler didn't get into. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sand this back, and let's see, I might just go ahead and zoom in a tad on it. I'm going to sand this back, and I'm going to concentrate. I'm pretty much just going to lightly sand everything, but I'm going to sand the top of the lettering down to try to level it out. It's been, okay, let me clarify this. I've done the initial spray, put the logo on, and then did probably about 4 coats, and then sanded the top of the logo off because it built up faster than the rest because it was already higher than the rest of the headstock. So you sand that down, and then you reshoot. But it's still higher, so you you build the rest of the headstock up, and as you sand this down, it will eventually be all level. I can still feel a slight rise on that. So this is probably the last time I'll have to do that. I was hoping that with some of that light that I was catching from off to my left here, you could see that that gold glitter a little bit for you, but it doesn't want to do it for you. Okay. So I have explained why I'm doing what I'm doing. And like I said, I'm going to sand everything lightly. And then I'm going to concentrate right on the lettering, which is holding me up off the rest of the headstock anyway. And the problem here is you don't want to go into it too far, because if you sand into the color, that affects the way your gold flake looks. Okay, gonna wipe that off just to see where I'm at. It's a lot closer than it was the last time that I did this, because I've got a little bit of shiny right around the letters, which means that I'm not even all the way across, but I am a lot closer than I was the last time. And I'm going to concentrate some right on this top edge, so that that little grain that's dipping away from me up there isn't quite so obvious, and it should fill with lacquer. And I'm not seeing that anywhere else, only right on that top edge. Now I haven't shot any lacquer on the edges of the neck here, or the peg head, or the neck for that matter. It's going to be an oiled neck, oil and wax. So I don't need lacquer anywhere else. This will be final sanded again on all these edges and the whole neck, and then oiled. And so the only thing on the neck that's going to be lacquered is the peg face. Okay, I think I've taken enough off. I'm going to, I'll reshoot this. All right. Yeah, it's getting kind of late in the day to do this, to shoot any lacquer right now, so I'll catch this next chance I get. Yeah, looking good. All right, boys and girls, I'm sure I just said this in the last segment, but it's been a couple days. It was a couple days after I shot lacquer. So it was Tuesday night that I sanded it out. Had a rehearsal last night, so I didn't get to get out here. Got sanded it down. I just went over the whole thing with naphtha, and I'm just tacking it, and then I will be shooting. I've shot enough on it that I feel comfortable with all the grain being filled. Everything is looking really good. So I'm just tacking the body off here, and I'm going to start laying some serious coats on here. I say serious. I mixed, the first coats I was using were mixed 50-50. This is more 40-60, maybe even a little less thinner than that. So yeah, 30% thinner maybe to 70% lacquer. So it's a little thicker, and is shouldn't sink quite the same. Shouldn't have an issue with it sinking really anyway, but I want to build my coats up more. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to go ahead and shoot those. And once the compressor kicks in, I'll just shut it off. But that's basically the process. I'm going to put another 4 to 6 coats on this, and then let it hang for probably a good month, right about a month. Although that's hard to do because I really want to, actually, once you get to that point, you want to get it sanded out and buff it and put it together and play it. So I'm just shooting the rim. Widening the fan out here, and a little more fluid in the mix. so that constitutes a coat. Both directions, you know, around the edge and then back, and crisscrossing. That's one coat. So I'm going to let that set for a few. I got to spray some, you know, the peg head face. So I'll get that. So we'll be shooting, you know, every time I shoot a coat on the body, I'll shoot a coat on the peg head face. I'm waving my arms around in the camera. So that's the process, and that's going to do it for this part of it. There may be some other things that I do along the way that I'll bring you in for, but you get the lacquer idea. And when I start sanding and doing a final buff on that, I'll bring you back in for that stuff. All right, so we've got since last night I was going to come out and scuff sand the body here, and we'll go ahead and go down and scuff sand the body, and possibly shoot, you know, another couple coats on it. I shot 3 coats on it last night. That was from the point we had it completely sanded back, and I laid 3 pretty good coats on the front and the back of this, and I just scuffed it with 1,000 grit and sanded. I mean, there's still some orange peel on the thing, but what I'm not seeing is any kind of grain, anything that's sunk into the grain whatsoever. So we're in really good shape as far as that goes. And even on the back, I did the same thing. I did a pretty light sand with 1,000, but I am not. Well, I should explain. Once you've matted the thing, you can see the irregularities because it goes from matte to shiny. So I'm getting some shiny where there's orange peel, but I'm not getting any shiny where it's dropping into the grain. So I am kind of pretty much let this hang at this point, and about 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, I'm going to finish sanding the thing out. I'm going to grab the peg head real quick because I shot a bunch on that as I was shooting the body. I want you to see it. So same thing here. I obviously have not scuff sanded this yet. And the reason I do a sand back is to see, you know, what kind of shape it's in. Like I said, you get the contrast between the sanded and the low areas, which are still shiny. So, but then typically after I shoot my last coat or two, and I wet up the last coat, and then I'll let it hang for a day. Then I'll scuff it, and then I'll let it hang because it seems to cure. It seems to gas out quicker if you open the surface up by scuff sanding it with 1,000 grit. So that's real happy with that. I'm going to scuff it, and the same thing. I'm just going to let it hang for a while, and in a few weeks I'll be able to shine this up. So that's about it. I might do some fret work while I'm waiting for that to happen. I've basically just leveled this out roughly, but like I mentioned before, I'd like to get it strung up. I've got some, I don't know if I missed these or if what happened, but these were, if you can see that or not. Anyway, where I filled the fret ends, I nipped these back and then just filled the grooves so you don't see any fret tangs. But what happened when I was sanding the lighter colored wood, I've ended up with white or lighter lines underneath the fret, so it almost looks like the tangs are showing. But what's happened is apparently they sunk in a little bit and filled up with the lighter color wood dust. So I have to go back and just scratch that out, refill, and then fill the upper end of things here. I don't know why, but you know, up here from about the 15th fret on, I didn't get those filled. So I will do that as well. Kind of something to do while I'm waiting. I've got other repair work to do as well. I just got a little setup came in today. I'll do that. It won't take any time. But I got to finish sanding the neck, and probably put a coat of oil on it, except for where it's going to be